The corridors of Oslo City Hospital never truly fell silent. Even on the busiest mornings, there was a rhythm to everything. The steady footsteps of doctors, the soft hum of medical equipment, distant conversations between nurses, and, occasionally, the cry of a newborn child reminding everyone that even in a place filled with pain, life always found a way to begin again. As Shazil followed an assistant toward Dr. Haroon's office, he couldn't help but notice how efficiently the hospital operated. Dr. Haroon is very particular about discipline, the assistant said with a smile. Everyone here knows exactly what they're supposed to do. Shazil nodded. I've heard a lot about Oslo City Hospital. We're proud of it. The assistant knocked gently on a large wooden door. Sir, Mr. Shazil Mir is here. A calm voice answered from inside. Please, send him in. Dr. Haroon stood beside the large glass window overlooking the city. His hair had begun to turn gray, but his posture still reflected confidence. Years of leading one of Norway's finest hospitals had taught him to remain calm, even when chaos surrounded him. He turned around and extended his hand. Mr. Shazil Mir, welcome. It's an honor to meet you, Doctor. The honor is mine. After exchanging a few formal words, Haroon motioned toward the sofa. I've gone through your previous work. Shazil looked slightly surprised. I hope the reports were satisfactory. Haroon smiled. They were impressive. There was a brief silence before Haroon continued. 3 months ago, someone attempted to access confidential patient records. Thankfully, our IT department detected the breach in time. Shazil's expression changed immediately. Was anything stolen? No. But someone was definitely looking for something. Shazil leaned forward. I'll need complete access to the hospital's systems. You'll have it. Haroon stood and walked toward his desk. There's one thing I should mention. Shazil looked up. My hospital isn't just a workplace. It's my family. Those words lingered in the room longer than expected. Before Shazil could respond, someone knocked, gently. Come in. The door opened. A young nurse entered carrying several patient files. She wore a simple white uniform, her hair neatly tied back, and despite the long shift already visible on her face, she greeted everyone with the same warm smile. Sorry to interrupt, Doctor. Haroon smiled. It's all right, Ramin. She placed the files on his desk. I've updated all the reports you requested. Thank you. Only then did she notice the visitor. Oh. Haroon looked between them. Ramin, this is Mr. Shazil Mir. He'll be working with us for a while. She smiled politely. Welcome to Oslo City Hospital. Thank you. For a brief moment, neither of them spoke. It wasn't awkward. It simply felt, unexpectedly, peaceful. There was something different about Ramin. Unlike the confidence Elizabeth carried, Ramin possessed a quiet warmth. The kind that made people feel comfortable without even trying. I should get back to work, she said softly. Haroon nodded. As she reached the door, she stopped. Doctor. Yes? Mr. Olson in room 214 still refuses his medication. Haroon sighed. He only listens to you. She laughed quietly. I'll try again. After she left, Haroon couldn't hide his smile. She's one of the hardest working nurses I've ever known. Shazil noticed the pride in his voice. Your daughter? Haroon paused. My stepdaughter. Another silence followed. Then Haroon added quietly, but if you ask me, I've never considered her anything less than my own. Outside the office, Ramin walked toward Ward B, checking patient files as she went. An elderly patient sitting near the window called out softly, Nurse. She immediately turned back. Yes, Mr. Olson? I know you're trying to convince me to take those medicines again. She smiled. I am. He folded his arms stubbornly. They taste terrible. I know. They make me sleepy. I know. And I don't like hospitals. She laughed. Neither do I. That answer caught him off guard. You don't? No. Then why work here? She looked around the ward. Because people who don't like hospitals usually need someone who does. The old man stared at her for a second before shaking his head. You always win. He finally accepted the medicine. As Ramin walked away, She heard him mumble with a smile. Stubborn girl. Meanwhile, on the third floor, Elizabeth stood alone beside a window, absent-mindedly stirring a cup of untouched coffee. Her thoughts kept returning to the stranger she had met downstairs, Shazil Mir. Most people tried too hard to impress her. Some admired her family's wealth. Others hoped to earn favors through her. But this man, he hadn't asked who she was. He hadn't complimented her. He hadn't seemed nervous. It irritated her and intrigued her at the same time. Just then, the office door opened. Miss Alizabi? One of the administrative staff stepped inside. Your father would like to see you. She didn't move. I'll come later. He's in a meeting after this, I said. Her voice sharpened. I'll come later. The employee quietly nodded and left. The room fell silent once again. Elizabeth clenched the coffee cup for reasons she couldn't explain. She suddenly wanted to know more about the man who hadn't paid much attention to her. Around lunchtime, Shazil decided to explore the hospital before beginning his technical assessment. As he turned into another corridor, he noticed something unusual. A young cleaner was struggling to push a heavy supply cart up a slight ramp. Several people walked past without stopping. Before the cleaner could lose control of the cart, someone rushed forward. Wait, it was Ramin. Together they steadied the cart before it rolled backward. The cleaner smiled gratefully. Thank you. You've been pushing this alone? There wasn't anyone else available. Ramin frowned. You should have called someone. I didn't want to bother anyone. You'd never be a bother. Shazil watched the entire exchange from a distance. No one else seemed to notice. There were no cameras, no audience, no praise waiting for her. She helped simply because someone needed help. Without realizing it, Shazil smiled. Not because she was beautiful, but because kindness like hers had become rare. At that exact moment, Ramin looked up. Their eyes met again. This time, she smiled first. A simple smile, nothing more. Yet somehow, it stayed with him long after she had disappeared around the corner. Far across the hospital parking lot, hidden behind the tinted windows of a parked black sedan, someone lowered a pair of binoculars. A deep voice spoke quietly into a phone. He's noticing her sooner than expected. A few seconds of silence followed. Then another voice answered from the other end. Don't interfere. Not yet. The call ended. The man started the engine. The black sedan slowly drove away, disappearing into the falling snow. Unseen, unknown, but watching. Always watching.